let's talk about something that could seriously shake up Honkai Star Rail, the 5-star shop. A while ago, we heard some early info about a system like this, but now we're getting more and more details, making it feel way more believable. And if HSR really does introduce a shop system similar to Honkai Impact 3rd, it could completely change how players get 5-star characters and light cones. And as promised, my channel has reached 20,000 subscribers, and to celebrate, I'm giving away 10 supply passes in this video. To participate, simply register on lootbar.gg using my link in the description and leave both your lootbar UID and in-game UID in the comments. I'll randomly select 10 winners after 1 week and send them a supply pass right away. Also, you can save up to 23% on Oneiric Shards at Loot Bar, so be sure to check it out. Good luck, everyone! So, what exactly is this new shop, and how does it work? Well, it looks like there will be 2 separate stores, one for characters and one for light cones. Based on information from Sakura Haven, this system will use a special exchange item that players can get from duplicate pulls, story progression, or even the battle pass. But what's really interesting is how this could reshape the long-term economy of HSR. Right now, getting extra copies of a 5-star character after Eidolon 6 basically just gives Undying Starlight, which doesn't have much value beyond a few minor rewards. But with this new character shop, duplicate 5-star characters will give a special item that can be exchanged for another 5-star character at a 2-to-1 ratio. That means pulling 2 extra copies of any eligible 5-star character would allow you to trade them for someone else, potentially a character you missed out on before. Now, here's where things get really interesting. These exchange items won't only come from duplicates. Some of them will apparently be rewarded through story quests, though we still don't know exactly which quests or how many we'll get. If this applies to past story content, older players might already have some of these exchange items stocked up when the shop launches. But it's still unclear whether this shop will include all 5-star characters or only a limited selection. Then we have the Light Cone shop, which works a little differently. Instead of getting exchange items from duplicate pulls, players will be able to obtain them from the Battle Pass or possibly other sources. But here's the catch. The exchange rate is 4-to-1, meaning you need 4 of these special items to trade for a single 5-star Light Cone. That's a much bigger investment, which suggests this shop isn't meant to be a quick way to grab top-tier gear, but more of a long-term feature. We still don't know exactly when this shop will be released in-game, but if the exchange system allows players to purchase a 5-star character simply by completing the main story, for example, there's a good chance it could be implemented in version 3.2 as part of the anniversary celebration. That would make it feel more like a special gift for players. However, without official confirmation or the insides, we'll have to wait and see if this theory holds up. Now, let's take a step back and compare this to Honkai Impact 3rd, because this system sounds a lot like Honkai Impact 3rd's War Treasury. In Honkai Impact 3rd, the War Treasury allows players to exchange in-game currency for S-rank battlesuit fragments, which over time lets you unlock or upgrade certain characters. The key takeaway here is that not every S-rank battlesuit is available in the shop, only a select few. If HSR follows a similar model, this shop might not have every 5-star character or light cone either. That raises a big question. Will this shop include limited characters, or will it only feature standard banner units? If limited 5-star rotate in and out, that could be huge for players who missed their banners. But if this is only for standard characters, then it might not be as groundbreaking as it initially sounds. Since Honkai Impact 3rd's War Treasury also rotates its offerings over time, HSR might do something similar, updating the shop periodically with different options. And here's something else to think about. What about free-to-play players? Since some of these exchange items will be rewarded through story quests, there's a possibility that players will be able to slowly collect them over time, making this a farmable system to some extent. If that happens, free-to-play players could have a way to gradually obtain 5-star characters and light cones without relying purely on gacha. But how fast will that process be? Will it take weeks, months? That's still unknown. Now, let's talk about the potential impact on the game's economy. If the shop is too generous, it could reduce the need to pull on banners, which is something HSR's developers would probably want to avoid. That means we should expect heavy restrictions on this system. For example, the exchange items could be rare and available in limited quantities from story quests, and paid sources like the Battle Pass might be the fastest way to earn them. There's also a possibility that HSR could introduce a system similar to Honkai Impact 3's Stigmata Resonance, where players can trade in unwanted resources for something new and valuable. If that's the case, it might make duplicate 5-star characters and light cones way more useful, especially for players who don't normally go for max eidolons. At the end of the day, this 5-star shop could be a major shift for Honkai Star Rail. If it really does follow Honkai Impact 3's model, it won't completely replace banners, but it could offer a long-term alternative to pure gacha reliance. The biggest unknowns right now are which characters will be available, how fast we can earn these exchange items, and whether or not limited-time characters will be included. But with more and more details emerging, this is definitely something to watch. So now, I want to hear your thoughts. Would a system like this make you more willing to pull duplicates, knowing they could be traded later? Or do you think the restrictions will be too tight for it to make a real impact? Let's talk about it in the comments. Save up to 23% on the current banners at lootbar.gg. All you need is your UID and server. The link is in the description.